Ah, Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you guys so much for joining me. I am your host. Y'all, I can't, I don't think it's that bad that I have a show here in 2 weeks. It's cold and I might get, pneumonia if I wet my hair and it takes forever to dry, and I don't want to use a blow dryer. Anyways, if you guys are looking at the thumbnail, you already know that we're going to be continuing this very serious, important conversation about um what were we talking about again? Right, adulting and feeling left behind and the era of mediocrity. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about self-doubt. Um, Doubt is a very tricky thing. And okay, usually when I start my conversations, I'm very, very rough around the edges and I'm very, you know, mean according to some people. But I want us to really discuss something because I was talking to my brother tonight actually about the importance of understanding what it is you want and how you share your desires, dreams, goals with other people. Because a lot of the times when we share our dreams and goals, we're actually using this energy that we could have been using to create plans to accomplish or set into motion the dreams and goals that we have set. And instead of doing that, we use this energy to explain and defend our goals to other people. And sometimes when you do that, it plants the seed of doubt. And out of this seed of doubt, a tree of insecurities, excuse me, come into play. And then you have the fruit from that tree, which is failure. You would do yourself a great good. I mean, even with people who may be in a position to help you put steps into place and who have been there and done that, who can say, oh, this is what I did. Maybe you should do it this way or this worked, that didn't work. You still got to be careful when sharing with those people, with anyone, because a lot of the times people do not want other people to succeed. It is so important to guard. It's so important to guard your dreams and goals and visions, especially if you feel like you are the type of person who is a victim of a victim of procrastination. See, I'm trying to be nice. If you allow procrastination to be a part of your habitual way of being, it's going to take a lot of energy for you to even develop courage into believing that it is possible for you to put things into place, to put the plan in motion, not even believe and actually start, but to even acknowledge and allow the space for you to consider that this is the person that you could be. And I do share this, I do share many stories in my own personal life about how I use this methodology to get some of the things that I want done. It's because I come from a place and space where a lot of people are very jealous and very vindictive and bad minded. And it's not anything particularly interesting or significant about my culture. It is just the way how certain people from a certain subclass set are. And this is the number one reason why 98% of people are failures. Because the human potential is exponentially great. You come into this world as a blank slate. If you have, I mean, even people who come in with physical disabilities. I mean, if you look at Stephen Hawking or Beethoven, or, people, Beethoven couldn't even hear. I think that we need to start to, if we're seeking motivation and sort of like a whole, what do you call those things that dig up roots? If you're looking for a garden tool that to dig up the roots and seeds of doubt that have been planted into your life, then you should read up about people who have accomplished things with less than you have available to you right now. Because I really do believe that there are two reasons why people don't accomplish the things that they set out to, and that is there is way too much doubt and there is too much distraction. 40 years ago, it would have just been too much doubt. Nowadays, we are constantly bombarded by so many different kinds of distractions that we have whole movements being put into place right now to stop the constant stimulus and input. It has gotten so bad that people are now protesting in their work environments, in school environments, to have downtime from screen time. No, you can't email me. No, you can't WhatsApp me. No, we're not going to have this to be this constant level of needed instant communication all the time. There needs to be a limit and an end put to it. We are distracted by the max, and we participate in our own distraction when we feel the need to always have to react to everything that we disagree on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever, whatever social media, Twitter. It's not called Twitter anymore, is it? I don't even know. That's to tell you how much I get input. I mean, I do it when I know that I have a topic that I need to cover, but I really try to limit my amount of input. Like, our TV broke the other day. Thank God, because there was just one less level of input that is always used to be running in the background of my house because, I like to have white noise when I'm working and cleaning. And so and I'm not the only one who's like that. I know a lot of people who need white noise. And it's not always just music. Now we have the TV and we have the radio and we are so constantly being stimulated is that we are not able to sit with our thoughts for 10 seconds, let alone 15 minutes, to be able to gain the needed clarity to figure out what the hell I want. We're busy looking for people to argue with about the things we disagree on. We're busy trying to make sense of things that are happening that may be of concern on the greater scale or being made to seem as a big concern on the greater scale that have absolutely nothing to do with our day to day lives. And yes, we live in an interconnected world where so many things affect us on a grander scale. Um, that we probably should know something about. But really, do we really need to know a lot about a whole lot? No, you don't. I am here to tell you that you will still be able to exist without knowing what side to be on any end of the political eye of any of the long laundry list of conversations and topics that are now being put into place constantly. It is just constant, y'all. You have one issue end and a whole other one just begin. And you ask yourself, what happened to the last issue? Like, how did that resolve itself? It did not, because it does not. And that is okay. We need to create space in our lives for our shit. That is our responsibility. The other stuff, we have absolutely no control over. And this is my message about the idea of being left behind is that this might seem like a conspiracy theory, but the more I reflect on why so many people are starting to feel like they haven't accomplished anything in their lives is because they do the absolute least when it comes to the necessary focus that is required to focus on getting the thing resolved. And the other thing about that is that I believe that a lot of us um, have not come from spaces and places where we have direct, um, we don't come from places and spaces where we have direct experience and knowledge about how to handle authority, how to take risks, how to assess issues in conflict, how to respect authority, how to have a sense of security in ourselves and our abilities to be able to accomplish goals that we haven't actually done. I mean, that we haven't actually set in place yet. And the reason for that is because we are the first generation growing up in such a space that is very, very limited in terms of the male presence, because all of the things that I just listed are things that you would actually find in a home where a man is present. And I'm not saying that all fathers have these qualities, but the majority of fathers um, do have these qualities, but the majority of homes don't have fathers. And so you have a whole generation of men and women growing up who are having themselves in this space, this mental space of being left behind because they don't know how to adult, because the mothers that raised them just gave them the bare minimum that they could give in between job and barely making it and barely surviving. Like, that's what we come from, is survival mode. We do not come from a place and space of, okay, we can put a plan in motion to accomplish our goals. All we know how to do is just survive. And we also have the added layer of the lie that we participate in about equality versus equity. And this is a very big, complex, and nuanced conversation about how we define equity versus how we define equality. And it is not a very simple and easy topic to discuss, because there's a very fine line between telling a person this is what is the equitable thing for you to do, and telling a person there's something wrong with you because you did not receive these things. How do we create a space where people can acknowledge their shortcomings and do something about them without making them feel like they have a complex, or, you know, calling to attention the fact that we are not the same, and that's okay. We are perpetually repeating and living in our residual past of our great grandparents while living in our time today. And that is something that we need to end. But it's going to require us letting go of certain ways of thinking and being that are not serving us. And being able to acknowledge that means that we're going to have to admit that we're wrong. We are out of order and we need to fix this. Is it possible? I'm hopeful and optimistic that it is. But there are a lot of people who I have been fighting with, who need this help more than I do, who who insist on telling me otherwise. I really hope that you guys are having a great Thanksgiving season. Christmas is right around the corner. I hope y'all make sure that you do the most, put everything by side. Peel yourself off of the ground. Turn your phone off. Go outside. Make a list, as ridiculous as it may seem, and keep it dear to your heart until you have the bravery to say, out of all these incredibly crazy, wild, awesome things that I want, I am going to take the leap forward and pick this. And I'm going to do it now. And I'm going to start today. And this is what it's going to look like for me. And don't tell a soul, just keep it pushing and make it one step in front of the other towards what it is you think you want done in your life. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them down below. I will see you in the next one, and make sure to always stay safe and stay free.